the bathroom, but they're kind of boring. So let me show you how we can fix them. I think we've got the faucet. Isn't this? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, it's just horribly unattractive, and we can't put this in the pretty bathroom, which just doesn't cut it for me. Okay, so I think we need something different. I'm thinking.
Because of the cell phone accessories I invented, there was a plan designed to cover what they did to me.
Tell you how to do it. This is gonna be fabulous, okay? It's kind of like doing a painting. Layers of invention. Alright. The first thing we need to do tonight, what I want you to do is visualize. Okay? I want you to visualize yourself walking up that mountain of invention. Keep going. Alright. We're making progress. Nobody said it's not easy, but, you gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving, and try something new. If something doesn't work, then you try something new. And you believe in yourself, and believe in your invention. And keep it to yourself, and try to be as smart as possible until you make it. No matter what happens. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're at the top. I think you just raise your arms in the air and know you can do it. And command it from the world. Know that you can do it. And then, alrighty, what you're going to need is an idea. Okay? And what I want you to do is find your passion. That idea is really dig up that passion. And if you have an idea that actually helps people, I'd say you've got something worth doing a little massaging. Alright, so now what I want you to do is take your idea. Okay, got it in your mind? I want you to put it in your hands and stroke. Oh yes. I want you to stroke that idea until you have a stroke of genius. Oh yeah. Alright. What we need to do next, okay? You know what, we'll get into this again, but we're going to be seeing that we're going to need to create a provisional patent. Alright, so what you're going to want is a provisional patent writing program. Oh yes, and that is exactly what I got, okay? So I took my writing program and I sat at my desk and I worked it. I worked it up over and over again. Woo! And then when I thought I was completely satisfied, I said no. I'm going to take this one simple idea and push it just a little further. Oh yes, I think that's all. Okay, I'm sorry. That is not me. that is my Handy Goddess What character, teaching you how to become an inventor. And then this is me, and the story's true. This is my invention, and okay, so at this point, what I decided was, I thought I was going down the licensing road. Excuse me, I'm cold, so and I proceeded down that avenue, and then I realized that the public is going to need a little more education on the topic at hand. So I actually ended up sitting on the patent, or the provisional patent. It was filed for about 6 months before I came up with the solution. So when you're working your invention, when you're doing any project, not everything flows in just, perfect order. You're probably gonna have to give it a little time. So it did take 6 months before I came up with a marketing campaign, and just like any good business person would do at this point, is you're gonna have to figure out how to get people on your team. Because my project is pretty big, and so I really wanted a big player along with me. So what I did is I went to, and I figured that, he'd be perfect. He teaches things that are in line with related, and he's a big player, and he seems to be trustworthy and in line with my values, so I went to him. And I approached him with a couple letters, and realized I needed to get creative too, so I also painted a painting for him for his birthday in September, and I did get a response after that finally, and it was a thank you video for my painting. I thought, well, that was nice, but gee, you didn't mention any of the letters that I sent you, which was odd, so I followed up on that, and then they said, well, do you have any of our programs? And I'm thinking, okay, I understand this guy wants me to have one of his updated recent programs, because I had an old one. You gotta be familiar with everything that's going. So whatever, I did what it took, and I sold my broken truck for just enough money to buy his program. And I bought his program, and I followed through on it, and I still didn't get any response. And then, so I proceeded to, I'm thinking, he probably thinks I'm like the Handy Goddess, People think that the character we expose online is who we are, which is generally not. So I made him a couple videos, explaining or showing me as I am and my vision, everything like that. And I still didn't get a reply. Well, I did finally get a reply from the office, and they did say that he would be in contact with me the following week. And that was November 4th. And then now it's like almost Christmas, and I have yet to hear anything. And of course, I completed the 11 weeks of the program, and we were instructed to post our results online, and so I did on the Facebook page, and then of course that got taken down because the results obviously weren't up to par with, well, they're not up to par with what I would have expected either, but whatever. So, I'm at the point where I've certainly shared enough information with this human being that if he wanted to steal my idea, he could. So really, what is an inventor to think at this point about this individual? Because frankly, I'm looking at it like, wow, this guy is not the guy that he portrays online by any stretch. His character online is not any different from what I do. My Handy Goddess character is certainly not me. So, same thing with this man. I'm seeing him in a whole different light, and it's not very flattering, to say the least. All right, at this point, I know I need to attract an angel investor. That was why I went to so I wanted to do this properly this time, so I started a business plan, and I needed some help with that, so I thought, well, where can a girl go when she doesn't have any money? So I went to the Small Business Administration, and there I met with and he's the guy who deals with the patents there. I thought, well, this would be perfect, He's a guy who portrays himself kind of like a sweet grandfather type, kind of naive, but really not. And I was sitting with him and went over my invention a little bit and wanted him to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but he said that was, he doesn't have to do that because he's within the Small Business Administration. They're not allowed to divulge any of this information. So the meeting proceeded to go on, and then what he did was he got on the phone because he was so excited about my invention, and he's got this wonderful friend, so he called his friend, something like that. He works with Apple Computers and up in Silicon Valley. So he did that call right right in front of me, and then he proceeded to go on and basically tell my what my invention was to this individual. I'm in shock, and I'm like, you just told him what my invention was. And he's like, oh, Barbara, no, these people are worried about lawsuits, you know? So, you have nothing to worry about there. And I'm like, all right, so all I'm thinking is, you know what? Isn't that against the Small Business Administration policies to divulge information like that right in front of me? Of course, who am I? I'm just a lonely inventor without any money. I mean, what am I supposed to think at this point? So needless to say, I've been a bit foolish and trusting with these individuals. And they both happen to have a lot of power, influence, and money, and they can discredit me any way they want. I can only imagine that would be pretty easy for them. So, I'm just going to state it right here. If I end up dead, I'll tell you right now, it was not suicide, and it wasn't an accident. But before anything like that possibly ever happened, I am an unusual chick, so let me just show you a little bit about me. Alright. I am primarily an artist, and what I paint is a variety of things from animals to angels to nude gods and goddesses. This one is a woman with a penis. It's kind of like how I feel right now. I'm telling you all right now, I don't really, what power do I have? I have no money. But I do have the power of all of you. And frankly, there's a lot more of us than there is them. And, I'm telling you, what the hell is happening to me is happening to all of us on one level or another. And if we don't stand up and, and fight stand up for ourselves against these individuals. I don't know how the man's going to twist it around in the end to make himself look good. But whatever, this is my truth, and I'm speaking it, and I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. Whether I end up dead or if I stay alive, I don't know. But we do have to stand up for what the hell we believe in and change things on this planet. For Christ's sake, I swear I think I was put on this planet just to become a mother to adult human beings, to sit down and fucking treat people with respect and dignity, for Christ's sake. We're all the same thing, but, some of us are such elitist people just because we've got all this power, influence, and money. It doesn't make them better than me, and it doesn't give them a right to steal from inventors. These men are certainly not qualified to do any of the work that I did to create, part of the work. But could either of these men do all the work I did to get where I am with my invention? No. They do not have the skills. They would have to pay somebody. But I did this on my own, and I'm not going to let it go at this point. So I'm asking for your help. Definitely asking for all I want from any of you that are watching this video to download it, upload it somewhere else, or share it with just one person. Just share it. That's all I ask.
I've been disrespected by my family and friends. What I know about what happened to me was that I left a restaurant in Bodega Bay and woke up in a hospital in Santa Rosa.